Flight Plan, First Class Conversations at George Washington High School. I'm Dr. Thompson, your principal. On today's flight, we are going to be cruising to great heights with some great people. We are wheels up on the 2025-2026 school year, and we'll have a dynamic roundtable discussion featuring our assistant principals. We'll dive into all the exciting changes and initiatives on the horizon. We're thrilled to have our athletics director, Charles Saki, joining us to share the latest updates on our fall sports teams at G-Dubs. And later in the flight, we'll shift gears to tackle some practical stress and time management tips that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned for an engaging episode of First Class Conversations at George Washington High School. You're listening to The Flight Plan. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Homecoming is just a few weeks away, and we hope you're getting ready for a full-scale, high-energy, spirited week, ending with our homecoming football game and dance. Homecoming is Friday, October 3rd, and begins as the Washington Eagles take on the Gratz Bulldogs at 3 o'clock p.m. here on our home field. Tickets to the game will be $2 and can be purchased at the gate. The homecoming dance will take place immediately following the game at 5:30 and will go until 8 o'clock p.m. Tickets for the dance will go on sale starting the week of September 29th. Tickets can be purchased from Ms. Sorkin of room 146 or Ms. Howard of room 216. If you want to bring an outside guest, you must complete a guest form and submit it for principal's approval by September 24th. Guest forms can also be picked up in room 146. Homecoming is always a huge event here at GW, so get ready for a great event and you're not going to want to miss it.
Welcome back. Joining me in the cabin is a stellar group of G-Dubs assistant principals. I've got Miss Lori Riggs.
Hey.
I've got Mr. Tony Pitsakis.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here.
And the fabulous Miss Green.
G-Dubs.
We're in the first few weeks of school. How's everybody feeling so far?
You know what? I must say this is probably one of the best starts we've had to the school year. It actually feels like really like school-like.
And it's really nice because we have air conditioning. A few years ago, we'd all be sweating, so we might not have the same opinion.
Yeah, it's good to go into classes and see learning going on, and especially when
with
I
air
go
conditioners.
with air conditioners. We're not sticking to the papers, on the desks.
But if you're on the second floor, you hear the dripping from the air conditioner above you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get that too in my office. Yeah. It's
Adds to the ambiance.
it's an interesting sound.
It's better than in the wintertime when sometimes the radiators decide to sound like a marching band.
Always a struggle with facilities.
But we do our best.
Yeah, but the year is going great. Very few complaints from people, from me, from everyone. So we're all doing a great job. The hallways are looking great. Students are going to class. Learning's going on in the classroom. I was in the CTE classroom the other day. They were coding. They were coming up with a program for the computer to figure out the sugar consumption of each country and ranking them. So they were all coding that using Python.
I guess we're number one.
Yes. I mean, to me, that's
to that.
amazing. I walk, but as administrator,
Yeah.
as administrator, I walk in and I can't say I know all the coding, but I know that there's learning going on because students are asking questions. They're asking each other questions. They're asking the teacher questions, and I think that's really a huge hallmark of learning is not knowing all the answers when you walk in, but when you walk out of the classroom, you have all the answers that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's important. When, I noticed as I was walking throughout this week, I noticed a lot of movement in classrooms where kids were actually like kind of in groups, engaging with each other and moving around the room. And not like twice, at least like in 4 different occasions I saw this. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
we're on the
I was
right
in
track.
several classes, and you know there's learning going on when you're not seeing cell phones.
Yeah.
And I can say I was in 3 classes this week. I didn't see any cell phones. So kudos to keeping your cell phones away and learning.
Yeah. And a couple teachers during my grade group, they stated that the kids just seem to be more in tune to what's going on. It's like you said, with the cell phones, it wasn't like that was the priority. It was actually like, hey, there's something going on in here, and I'm going to take part in it. So,
Not to go back to COVID too much, but I feel like this group of students, we're finally past the wave of COVID students affecting the high school. Like things are whatever normal is.
Yeah, right.
Might be coming back a little bit. Don't want to jinx us. Is this
Right,
wood?
knock on wood, right?
But I think it also goes back to all the work we've been doing the past few years with culture building and students wanting to be involved, wanting to know what's going on, not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom, special activities. I've heard a lot of people talk about clubs. I want to be part of this club. I want to start that club. And so that just speaks again to a lot of the community building we've been doing at the school.
Yeah,
And
that's
you know
really,
what?
really exciting because I think that, when you've got students and teachers really thinking about community spaces outside of the school day and joining together, that's exactly what we want a high school experience to be.
And you know what's funny? Earlier today, I had a couple students approach me in the lunchroom. They wanted to do a chess club. And I was like, nobody's doing it. They're like, no, the person that used to do it, they left. So I was like, all right, well, let me put a message out to, the school to see who would like to, if anybody would want to, sponsor the club. And I said, do they really have to know how to play chess? They were like, no, as long as we just need a body, an adult in there. So I put the message out, and within minutes, I got back like 5 replies.
Yeah.
So we shall have a chess club.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, hopefully you don't need to know too much chess. I can barely play checkers myself, but so chess is very
Speaking
challenging.
of cell phones,
It's after hours,
Miss
right?
Riggs, okay? It's after school hours.
Oops.
All phones on silent, please.
I put my phone on silent.
Now mine is.
I'm the good student.
And I'm the one texting right at this minute. Yes, I am. Still got to work.
We are human too and have our cell phones attached to our hips.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Yeah, but being connected to the school, I feel like if you're part of clubs, part of sports, not just coming to school and going to your classes, I feel like there's more buy-in and it creates a better school community for everyone. Just kind of finishing up on that last thought.
Yeah, but we want all students to, yes, you learn in class, but high school is an experience too. So we want students to experience, yes, academics, but also, yes, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of family, a feeling of many things that students need. So I don't know, that's just a great thing to see so early in the school year.
Well, I had a few teachers in my grade group say that their first period attendance has been a little bit better this year. So I found that interesting, especially with SEPTA. And they did too. They thought that the SEPTA thing would really, really impact it. But to my surprise, a few of them said their first period attendance has improved. Is it perfect? No, but
And I think I've noticed students that I didn't expect to be on time. You remember that one week? Yeah. And, we want to celebrate the students when they're coming on time because, it's hard. Some travel far. But, I saw a few first period classes and there were a lot of kids in, and I checked and there was like, that's about how many were supposed to be there.
Right.
So that's great given the SEPTA issues.
Yeah, and I'll just go on my soapbox a little bit. 18 is the magic number. You need to be here every day, and not just for second period and beyond. You need to be here for first period. Once you go under that 90%, there's so many statistics that just show student success rates aren't as great if you're not there. So it is difficult getting out of bed. Believe me, my snooze button can be my best friend and my worst enemy. But you do it because you have to. I talk to students about being late, and there are a lot of valid excuses, but I know you guys push your snooze buttons way too much sometimes, or don't use one at all.
Yeah, and with I notice when we do the hall sweeps, when I check attendance, first period, before I even say anything, before I even pull up their attendance, they're like, Miss, I'm going to do better first period. So there is, the kids are acknowledging the fact that, first period, you need to be here too. So.
Oh, it can happen. At the end of last year, when I threatened a group of seniors of not being able to walk in graduation ceremonies, all of a sudden they were here on time every single day. So if there's a will, there's a way.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize that if you're missing a whole class, it's borderline impossible to pass. I mean, you may know the content, but if you're not getting the specific support from your teacher, they don't know you know it. So being present is part of the battle, and that's part of the battle of like being in a job too. I just think, and I'll be really honest here right now. That one class in college that I thought I had, it was all good, it was in the bag, and I didn't show up all the time. I didn't get the grade that I was expecting to get, and that was problematic. Sure, high school I went to every class, but I didn't in college, and it does impact if you're not there. When we return, a special update from our athletics director, Charles Saki. He'll be revealing all the exciting developments in our fall sports programs. You won't want to miss this inside scoop. Keep those seatbelts fastened, and we'll be right back.
Get ready for our senior kickoff trip on Wednesday, October 22nd to the Eastern State Penitentiary. Tickets are $45 and include all areas of the penitentiary and bus transportation. We leave GW at 5:30 p.m. Spots are filling fast, so see Ms. Sorkin in room 146 for more information and your permission slip. This is always one of the best trips of the year, and you're not going to want to miss this one. The senior portrait schedule is posted in the senior Google Classroom and will take place here at George Washington starting October 14th through October 17th. All important information regarding portraits is posted, so make sure you're following and staying up to date so you do not miss out on anything. Your advisors will share the code if you are new and not in the Google Classroom.
Welcome back. We're excited to dive into our next segment where we turn our focus to athletics. Joining us now is none other than our AD, Charles Saki. With his passion for sports and dedication to our student athletes, he's here to share the latest updates of our fall sports teams. Charles, welcome to the show. What do you have for us today?
Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be here to discuss everything George Washington High School Eagle related. We are very much into our fall season. Every one of our fall sports teams has competed in a game or a contest of some sort. So far, our football team got their first victory last Friday night, and we're excited to see what is coming up in the future when we have two upcoming home games right here at Mickey Young Stadium at George Washington High School. On the 26th, we welcome in Imhotep, and on the 3rd of October will be our annual homecoming game and dance against Simon Gratz. Currently, our boys soccer program, both varsity and junior varsity, is undefeated, with a big-time showdown happening this Monday against Northeast, the perennial Public League champion. Our cheerleading team, when not cheering for our football team, is already preparing for their nationals competition in Dallas, which will be coming up in January. Our girls volleyball team, who plays in the top division of the A division, has had a very good season so far with a lot of new and exciting young members. Our JV team is also doing a great job there. Our girls tennis team, led by Coach Paul, is also having a great season. They've only had one loss, and currently at this moment as we speak is winning against West Philadelphia High School. Our field hockey team, which is always looking for added members, so any student who is interested in joining the field hockey team, please see Miss Vandermark in 231. They had their first game the other day against Central, and they have their next game this coming Monday. Our girls soccer program, led by Mr. Simons, is still also recruiting athletes as well to their cause. They're playing a game as we speak right now, and we anticipate great things coming from that team moving forward. Lastly, some very exciting news from our cross-country team, led by Coach Red. In the first public league meet which is done throughout the city at Belmont Plateau. One of our very own, Rafael Naji, finished first among the boys in the entire city of Philadelphia in the men's 3,000 meter. As we speak, our boys and girls are racing today in both the 3,000 and 3,200 meter. Winter sports are right around the corner, starting on Friday, November 14th, where we'll welcome in girls and boys basketball, wrestling, swimming, which will compete as a team for the first time in many years here at George Washington High School under Coach Ridgway. We have indoor track with Miss Red, wrestling with Coach Horsey, girls basketball with Coach Reed, boys basketball with Coach Beatrice and Coach Glover, and our competitive cheer with Miss Sorkin-Saki.
Wow, Charles, that was a mouthful. So tell me a little bit about how you see the fall going so far. How do you feel the athletes and the coaches are doing?
I think both our student athletes and our coaches are doing a great job. You know, there's very much an acclimation period for us all. You know, having been an athlete myself, as were you, Principal Thompson, and many of our other teachers here, it takes a little while to get everybody on the same page, both how we run our schemes and also dealing with that most important part, which is the student and academic part, which eligibility is right around the corner here for our athletes, and they know out of 8 classes, they must be passing 6 and meeting that attendance component as well. So a lot of great things are happening, still early in the year, but the best is still yet to come.
I'm really grateful you mentioned the student-athlete part. I feel that our athletes, when they're in season, they do an excellent job of staying on top of their grades and their attendance, and my hope is that many more students join clubs and sports to keep them engaged, because it just feels better when you're doing something.
Absolutely. And here at Washington, as the 3rd largest high school athletic program in the city, behind only Central and Northeast, we're continually looking to add more teams. Just in the last 2 years, we've added flag football and we've added swimming. We're looking to add rugby in the spring as an emerging girls sport, both in the city, the state, and across the country. So we always want to get as many students involved, both in season and out of season, and it's imperative that our students are engaging in something non-academic to keep them focused on those academics.
Yeah, and any girl interested in rugby, if you ever have questions, I played 14 years, and I would love to give any advice about how wonderful the sport is and how amazing the camaraderie is. I see that you send emails frequently to try and celebrate and share the athletes are competing and when they're competing. Can you share a little bit about your feedback and why you're so passionate about that?
So as both a former coach, the current athletic director, and a father, I know how much it means to our student athletes when their role models and their teachers and the people that they care, trust, know, and love come out and support them. With many of our games being directly after school, it puts a lot of pressure on our families because the majority of them work, and they can't take that time away from work, unfortunately. And it's nice when our football teams have late night games, like tomorrow night we have ones at 7 o'clock. Many of our parents can meet that demand because it's after the work hours. But it's imperative that not just our students here at school, but our staff as well, if they could just take 20 minutes out of your afternoons. We're trying to really cultivate more school spirit here, and I think in turn, we're going to build better relationships between our teachers and our students and all of our athletes, and really build that school spirit that I saw so much of and was a part of here in the 90s in the class of 1997 here at Washington. We used to have great student sections, and it's a trickle-down effect. It impacts our whole school and really brings togetherness throughout our entire school community.
Thank you for that, Charles. I can tell that when I was competing in high school, I could tell you the teachers who were there and how much it meant to me being able to go into the class the next day, and instead of talking about what the math problem was, they were saying, hey, great job in that game yesterday, whether or not they knew the sport. It really does mean a lot to our children, so I appreciate that. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about doom scrolling and the impact it has on your psyche.
I'm very interested to hear what this doom scrolling is, as in, I guess, like most of the kids feel like I'm 46 and I'm a fossil. I'm not familiar with that term.
You will find out.
George Washington High School is proud to announce that we will be hosting a series of events to commemorate Hispanic Heritage Month. We are currently looking for students to contribute to arts and cultural activities that will be occurring from September 15th through October 15th. See Ms. Garcia or Ms. Ortiz if you're interested in supporting the month's activities. Interested in speech and debate? Join the debate club in room 136. Our first meeting will be held Wednesday, September 17th. Sign up and find out again in room 136. Anyone interested in singing or playing an instrument? See Mr. Chen in room 162 near the auditorium. No experience? No problem. All playing abilities are welcome. Do you have coding experience and want to take your skills to the next level? Join the brand new Advanced Coding Club. An interest meeting will be held after school on Thursday, September 25th in room 310. See Mr. Roselle for more information.
All right, so cell phones seem to be the hot topic of conversation this afternoon. So let's address a topic that is really familiar with teenagers these days. How many of you doom scroll? Don't lie, I know you do it. We do it too. Sometimes at night when I know. Sometimes at night when I know I need to clean up the dinner dishes and put in a load of laundry, I sit there and doom scroll because I'd rather do that than do the laundry. But regardless of what I want to do, it's what I need to do. And I know many of you spend many hours doom scrolling or playing video games or things that take you away from your schoolwork. Mm-hmm. And then you don't have enough time to do your schoolwork, and that can cause stress and anxiety in teens. So let's put this out here to my table mates here. What are your thoughts on doom scrolling and teen stress and the relation between the two?
So I have a 17-year-old boy, and I can say you are hitting the nail on the head.
I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I'm in the same boat as you.
Yep.
And there's frequent times when I'm like, have you done your homework? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm just, well, that's your phone, and I know you're not doing your homework on your phone.
Right.
And it does cause him sometimes to get really anxious and behind the eight ball about whether or not he's going to get his homework done. You know, and frequently, unfortunately, it also makes him a little bit more tired because his eyes have been on the phone and he needs to now move to a computer to have another screen to get his work done.
And he has less energy at that point because
very
it's
much.
probably later in the day and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 9:30, 10 when I'm trying to go to bed, things.
Right.
Yeah. And then he's up late.
Yeah,
So,
I've witnessed emotional breakdowns after hours of I'm about to start. Melissa, you're probably seeing that at home too.
With myself, sometimes I doom scroll until I knock myself in the head with the phone. It's because I fell asleep scrolling.
Or did you ever wake up because the phone hits the floor and makes a loud noise? You startle yourself?
No, just my face. But yeah, I have two teens at home too. With the younger one, it's, you know, a little worse than the older one. So, but yeah.
That's what they say, right? Like, you can't, when you're doom scrolling or when you're scrolling on your phone, it's harder and harder to go to sleep, right? Because of that blue light or something that comes off the phone, it affects you in that way. It keeps you awake until you can't help but, you know, close your eyes and go to sleep.
Right. So you guys, if I come to school with a missing tooth or a black eye, you know why.
But a lot of students say, like, they won't part with their phones. Like, how many of you, you know, will sleep in a different room from your phone?
Wow.
pick me. I do not sleep with my phone in my room.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me to
That's
take the phone
interesting.
out of your bedroom so you're not on there doom scrolling, hitting yourself in the face, but also not sleeping. Also not sleeping.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. In the past, I would plug in my phone outside of my bedroom, but now it comes with me, because it's
Yeah.
my alarm clock and
Yeah.
my snooze button.
Because then what happens when you don't get to work?
No snooze. I hit snooze today, and I was late, and I'm honest about that. But no snooze for me. I can't. If I don't wake up right away, it's gone. But yeah, I don't like to have my phone with me because I figure that's the only time I'm going to have sound sleep. But
It does feel good to unplug those times when you're in a place where there's no Wi-Fi or things like that. Sometimes it forces you to have conversations, that's something we actually talked about the other day, about students having conversations with each other. Sometimes the technology and devices take the place of human conversation. So I challenge you to put your phone down and talk to somebody sitting next to you that you might not necessarily talk to.
And I challenge students to, not in school, but in your real life, it's okay to be bored. It's okay to think about things and not have to have that that feedback all the time in your phone, in your hand. It's okay to be bored. There was a study they did, or I heard, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, the exact things, but there was a university where they told students, give me your phone, I'll give you $100. Sit in this room, and there's a button in front of you, and this button gives you an electric shock. So you can hit the button anytime you want.
Take off of the Milgram experiment.
But you can't touch your phone if you want this money. So students sat there for, I believe it was an hour. I don't know what the time interval was. And some students actually gave themselves an electric shock because they didn't know what to do when they had nothing to do without their phone.
Wow.
So instead of just sitting there and just taking the money, they actually shocked themselves just to see what it felt like.
Reminds me of car rides when I was a kid and there was nothing to do. And we would ask our parents, how long till we get there? I probably would have liked that electric shock button.
Are we there yet?
Are we
to see 'em
almost
so
there? Yeah.
But no student should be shocking themselves. I'm just saying.
Don't
No
take this the
students
wrong
were
way.
shocked in
Yes.
the making of this podcast.
Yes. I'm just saying that's
Good PSA.
it's okay to be bored. Put your phone
Well, you
down.
don't have to be bored. You can find other things to do.
Thinking is good. Think about your future. Think about your goals. Think about how to get there. You don't need that constant input all the time from your phone.
Right.
Think.
Yep.
It's good. It's good to think.
It's also a good idea just to unplug every once in a while. Like, it's hard to do it. It really is. As an adult, I say, hey, do it. But, I don't
is
do it
hard.
myself. I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't choose to all the time. But I think it is healthy to, step out of whatever you're seeing, because sometimes we get a false sense of reality because people generally only post the best picture of themselves, the picture with the filter, the video after 10 takes, and they may show a corner of their room where the rest of the house may look like a disaster kind of thing. So it's not always a real look, and everybody makes their lives look great, and then sometimes people compare themselves to it. So
Are you following me on social media? How do you know? How do you know that's what I do?
I try to tell my own children that what you're seeing is a representative.
And,
People are selling themselves and their lives. And sometimes I've known people who were unhappy posting things, and people from the outside thought they were the happiest people in the world, when in reality they were really struggling. But sometimes that puts up a facade.
Yeah.
All right, so you see that? You hear that? Get off your phone.
Wait, we want them to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. Don't get off the phone yet.
Get off the phone, go to the computer, or go on YouTube and
Listen
search
to
it
the
up.
podcast on the computer.
Yes.
Isn't that just as bad?
It depends. Don't take your laptop to bed. Go to the desktop.
That would really
can't
hurt
move
you.
the
If you
That
the
fell on
laptop
your head.
clunks you.
Yes, I'll have a concussion.
have a whole forehead black and blue.
A big thank you to our guests for sharing their insights today. Your input is invaluable as we support each other in navigating the school year. So, huge thanks to Lori Riggs,
Carpe diem, everyone. Seize the day.
Tony Pitsakis,
See you in the hallways.
and Miss Green.
Be respectful, be responsible, be safe.
Yeah.
Woo!
She can sing.
Remember, every great journey begins with a solid plan. This is your flight plan, and we are excited to bring you the flight plan every week. I'm Dr. Thompson. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to our next flight together. Peace out.